Welcome everyone to the next class. That is, we are today going to study about the bryophytes. Now, actually, what are the bryophytes? Bryophytes, these are considered to be the first land plants, okay? And while we are studying about bryophyte, we come across some terminologies. That is, first is bryology. What is bryology? Bryology means the branch of biology which deals with the study of the bryophytes, okay? Hedwig, he is known as the father of bryology. And S.R. Kashyap, he is the father of Indian bryology. So while we are studying about bryophytes, so these are the important terms that we have to study them and we have to go through them. Okay, now bryophytes are the first land plants. That means last we have studied about algae. So while we see an algal plant, it is difficult to recognize whether it is a plant or not, isn't it? Because we see just a carpet of green color. So that green color carpet becomes difficult for a layman, a person who doesn't know about what is it, to differentiate whether it is plant or what, isn't it? So for that particular reason, this group of plant, it appeared something to be like that of a plant. So these are considered to be the first land plants. That means if a person who doesn't know anything sees it, then he can consider, see what is there, something like leaf-like structure, stem-like, root-like structures are there. So something he can resemble that yes, this is a plant. So that's why they are considered to be the first land plants. Now, they occur basically in moist habitats, okay, but some are aquatic or also present, but basically they prefer terrestrial habitat. When the terrestrial habitat, that means that is moist, like damp areas, damp rock, damp wood, like this type of conditions, okay. Now, but while they are preferring a terrestrial habitat, but there is an adaptation. So what is that adaptation? That means what happened, these plants are terrestrial, they prefer terrestrial habitat, but for sexual reproduction, they need water. Okay, that means for the movement of the gametes, that is the sperms, to reach the female part, for that particular reason actually water is very much essential. So though they are terrestrial, but for sexual reproduction water is very much essential. And for that particular reason actually the bryophytes are considered to be the amphibians of the plant kingdom. Got it? So that particular term is important. You have to remember that why bryophytes are considered as amphibians of the plant kingdom, because though being terrestrial they require water for sexual reproduction. Next is the gametophytic plant body. Now what is a gametophyte? Gametophyte means the plant body which bears the gamete, and in contrast to them that is the sporophyte, that means which bear the spores. So while we are going higher level studies, then we will get, that means higher class of plants, gametophyte and sporophyte, two different stages are very much prominent in the plant. That means the stage which will produce the spores, sporophyte, and the stage which will produce the gametes, that is the gametophyte. And in bryophyte, the gametophyte is the dominant and it is the independent plant. That means while we are seeing the plant, we will observe the gametes. Now in case of Ixia it becomes difficult to identify, but in case of Mertensia what happened? A small umbrella-like structures are there. So that particular thing, what happened? We can see and just observe that whether that is the gametophyte. So that particular plant is considered to be a dominant plant, and that is the gametophyte is dominant, it is very prominently observed, and that's why we consider that this plant is gametophytic plant body and it is an independent plant. Okay? Then size may vary, it may be smaller, larger, so that is variations are observed. Then vascular tissues are absent. That means vascular tissues means xylem and phloem, which is essential for conduction of water and food. So that particular tissues are absent in case of bryophytes. Rhizoids are present, that means proper roots are not there, but root-like structures are present, which are known as the rhizoids. Now here see, vascular tissue is absent, proper roots are absent. For that particular reason actually, we don't see bryophytes in the form of larger trees. Okay, bryophytes are always smaller. They cannot appear as large trees because these two main factors are absent. If roots are not there, then how they will grow? Isn't it? How they will stand erect. So for that particular reason actually they do not have larger sized plants. Then structure, it may be either thalloid or foliose. Thalloid, we have already known what is thallus in case of algae. Thallus means when the plant is not differentiated into root, stem and leaf, that is called thallus. Foliose means the plant is erect and somewhat root, stem or leaf-like structures can be identified. Then here reproduction may be vegetative. For example, fragmentation may occur. The whole plant may divide into small fragments and each fragment act as a new individual. Bud-like outgrowths develop which get detached from the parent plant and act as a new individual. Gemma, these are also some reproductive structures. They get detached from the plant, act as a new plant. And adventitious branches. When the plant is developing some branches, okay, those are the adventitious branches. These adventitious branches, they gradually get detached from the parent plant and they develop all the characters of the parent plant and ultimately it behaves as a new individual. So these are the basics vegetative reproductive means which are performed by the bryophytes. Now, in case of bryophytes actually we see proper sex organs. Okay, that means antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium is the male sex organ and archegonium is the female sex organ. Now see, this is the structure of the male sex organ. Okay, this structure is somewhat globose or club shaped. It consists of an outer sterile cells, okay, which will provide protection to the inner sperm cells. So this particular sterile layer is known as the jacket. And within the jacket is the spermatozoid mother cells. These spermatozoid mother cells will develop, they will divide and ultimately give rise to biflagellate spermatozoids or sperms. That is the male gametes. Got it? Archegonium, it is a long flux-shaped structure. It consists of a long neck and a swollen venter. Okay, that means archegonium is divided into two parts, a neck and a venter. And here stalk will be there, this is also the stalk, okay. Now neck is divided into small cells, okay, and that particular cells are known as the neck canal cells. Neck canal cells, the number may vary from species to species. Now in bryophyte different species are there and each species will have different number of neck canal cells. But ultimately the structure of archegonium is fixed, that means it will have a neck and a venter, got it? But the number of neck canal cells will differ in different species. The venter here, it consists of only two cells which is fixed for every species. That means the venter will consist of a ventral canal cell and an egg cell. These 2 points are very important. The neck canal cell number varies, but the venter, there are only two cells are present which will be fixed for all species. So this is the female gamete and this is the male gamete. Got it? Now, fertilization. When actually fertilization occurs, that means here the sperms are produced, here the egg is produced, all have matured enough for reproduction. So what happened? This particular structure will break down. Okay? It will create a slit from which these sperms will be released. And these sperms in water, now we have said that these are amphibians, that is they require water. They will swim in water and reach the cover cells. Okay? That means the archegonium. Cover cells are like the, these are actually the protective cells which are protecting or covering the whole flux. So this particular cells will first degenerate. The sperm will come, they will degenerate, that means it will open the lid. Gradually the sperm will enter through the neck, dissolving the neck canal cells. Got it? It will reach the venter. The ventral canal cell wall will also dissolve and finally it will reach the egg. That means the male and the female gamete will fuse together to form the zygote. This is the means of sexual reproduction. Okay? So when the zygote is formed, it will develop into the embryo and that particular embryo is protected by a cover which is known as the calyptra. Okay? And that will develop into the sporophyte. Sporophyte means the spore producing part. So that sporophyte is divided into foot, seta and capsule. Okay? Foot means the base which will remain attached to the gametophyte. Seta, stem-like structure, and capsule means the spore-bearing part. The capsule, it bears the sporogonium, and that particular sporogonium bears the spores. That is the spore-producing part of the plant. And this sporophyte is completely dependent on the gametophyte. It remains attached to the gametophyte, and that's why it is completely dependent. When the spores germinate under favorable conditions, they will absorb water and will germinate, isn't it? So that germination develops into a first structure which is known as the protonema. In case of bryophyte, we get the term protonema, which is the first structure developed from the spores. And so here we see an alternation of generation, isn't it? A independent gametophyte and a dependent sporophyte. So while we are studying this, see, first is the gametophytic plant. They will produce the gametes. That gametes will fuse together, form the zygote, embryo. Then the sporophyte is formed. From that sporophyte, spores are produced. That spores will germinate, form the protonema. From protonema, again the gametophytic plant is formed. So what happened? It occurs in a cyclic manner, isn't it? So that is the alternation of generation. That means the gametophyte alters with the sporophyte in case of bryophyte. But always remember, here are some important points to be remembered. That means the gametophyte is an independent, sporophyte is dependent in case of bryophytes. Okay? Then here these are called the first land plants and the amphibians of the plant kingdom because they require water for sexual reproduction, otherwise they are terrestrial plants. Then their sex organs are developed, antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium is the male sex organ, archegonium is the female sex organ. Okay? While next, these calyptra protectively around the embryo, sporophytic plant divided, that is food seta capsule. So all these things you have to know it properly. Go through the books. Actually, everything is mentioned properly in the books. So go through them point wise, study them clearly, go through the videos also. If you still have any problem, then tell me, and in the next class we will study about the different classes. That means how the bryophytes are divided into different groups, different classes. So we will study in details about that.